I'm excited to share about this Japanese plum tree, or loquat. In my area, which I live near Savannah, we call it the loquat tree. You'll see them all over Charleston and Savannah and in Florida, all over Florida. You'll see them in the southern part of the United States, probably Alabama, Texas, and even California. You'll see them where it's near a coast and there's humidity. But that's not really what I want to talk to you about today, where you can grow this tree or anything like that. I want to share how much joy I have gotten out of planting this one tree. I remember when I first moved into this house, the house was messy, it was kind of all chaotic. But I remember thinking I got to go to the plant nursery and ask about this tree because this space looked really bare. There was a window that you cannot even see anymore over there that I wanted to give myself some privacy, and I wanted to be able to look from the covered porch out there and just enjoy the view. And this tree has been, wow, just pure magic. Look at this majestic tree and how it has grown over time. I'm actually going to show you some footage of when this tree was a baby. This is a picture of the day we planted this tree. Look how little it was. Oh my goodness. This was around May of 2019. And now I want you to look at this footage where I asked my husband to please help me trim some of the limbs. So we did some pruning on this tree, and that was around August of 2020, just 1 year later. Then the tree really started growing after that. I do think that this tree does like pruning. Now take a look at where the tree is now. This is a total of 5 years of growth altogether, and it is so much bigger, and now we've got so many loquats. Hey, my name is Cynthia, and I love working in my home. I like to use my creativity to do something really beautiful. I love the transformation from something being ugly or abandoned to something beautiful. So whether it's painting something inside or maybe planting a tree that is going to bring joy for years to come, I know that the space that you're surrounded with is super important. And I also use this as part of my spiritual journey. So I started the vision for this channel about 10 years ago. I was debating whether I was going to make a channel about spirituality or I was going to make a channel about home and garden, because I loved both. And then later I realized, hey, I kind of use creativity and my home as my spiritual haven. This is where I get to practice my mindfulness and where I get to quiet down. For the longest time, I battled those two concepts, thinking they were separate. They were one or the other. In my creative process or in my DIY projects, I am fully immersed in my authentic self. And from that place, I can create magic. This tree is a symbol of that magic. I mean, look at it. Not only has it grown gobs of loquats that we're going to be able to eat, but also it is providing privacy, it is giving me a visual interest, and it's a reminder of what is possible when you have vision. When I was doing some research about the loquat tree, there was a lady actually on YouTube that was talking about how this is medicinal. The leaf of the loquat is medicinal. You can make a tea out of that. So I decided, hey, let me find out what other people are doing around the world. It's all over Europe and around Italy, France, Germany, wherever there's a coast and it's humid, this tree will thrive. So in other countries, they do make a lot of food like jam, preserves. They make juice. I actually found that the juice of the loquat is not that hard to make, and people don't really know how to pick the fruit or how to cook with it. So I am going to do a little bit of cooking later in the video. Now, I personally like the fruit when it's really sweet because it can be really tart at the beginning. So let me see if I can pick some here. All right, here's one. Oh yeah, if it comes off easily, then it's ready. So this one's good. Let's see if this one's ready. No, this one's not ready because you have to kind of force it. So do you see how it's bruised easily right there? That's why it's not easily commercialized, because it doesn't look as beautiful as those other fruits that they can put wax on them. This is a view that the neighbors get to see from the other side of the fence. How cool is that? This is footage of my husband helping me trim the tree because I wanted to make it a little bit more neat and tidy.
Oh, right here.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, right there.
Right there?
Yep. We only picked what was on the limbs that we trimmed, and also what was low-hanging fruit that was ready. And we had 2 of those tubs, plus I took a whole grocery bag to my neighbor.
Tell me where. Right here?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
Ready?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Pesa tanto con esta fruta.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Hi, little froggy. You got confused. Get down. No, it's there. He went further.
Here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We've already filled this and we're not even close. Those ready?
Yeah. See? Just falls off. It's already. These are sweet to me. So now it's
Yeah.
really sweet.
Yeah.
These ones are sweet.
Nothing like eating a fruit, picking it from the tree, huh?
Yeah. These are ready?
No?
These are.
Okay. Well, you've been eating so many, and you should see how many we still have.
That was for you.
Oh! Give me. Is this one for me?
Oh, yeah.
They're ready?
Look at this.
Oh!
Try that one.
Mmm. Mm-hmm.
That good?
Mm-hmm. Mm. I mean, there's just so many.
Yeah, it's a lot. Look at the sweet one. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there? Yeah, or a little right there.
Right here?
Uh-huh. Okay. All right, guys, I have this one loquat that I just picked, plus some others that my husband and I picked. So we're gonna go ahead and make the juice right now because we can, and I'm gonna go ahead and make that tea. There's several benefits to the tea, so I'm gonna gather some leaves. We're gonna make the tea and the juice, and I think that'll be great. After my husband helps me pick the rest of them this weekend, I'm going to make a jam. I was thinking the other day, maybe even a cheesecake. I have a ton of cream cheese in the fridge, and I thought maybe even a cheesecake. Let's see all the things I get to make with those loquats. As you can see, it's still dirty, so we're gonna wash the 3 leaves for the tea. I boiled the leaves, I simmered it for a while, and then it turned like this. It had little fuzzies all over it, and I'm not so sure what that's all about, but I did strain it, and I put it in my cup. I'm gonna have this loquat tea this morning, but I want you to look at there's little like fuzzies in there, and I'm not sure if that's good or not. It doesn't smell weird. It doesn't smell like anything. I want to taste it for the very first time in front of the camera and see what my real reaction is, because by the looks of it, it's not that interesting. So I haven't eaten anything this morning. I haven't had my coffee yet. I just made it. This doesn't taste like much. So if it's medicinal and those little fuzzy things are no big deal, I could totally do that. I'm currently doing the editing for the video, and I was like, okay, why is the loquat good for you? Why is it medicinal? I'm reading from my non-fancy notes here. Research shows that leaves contain antioxidants and polyphenols that improve respiratory ailments, lower blood lipid and sugar levels, and alleviate inflammatory conditions. It also can help dermatitis and eczema and even acne and dark spots. So you can make a tea with it, you can make essential oils and even syrups that can serve as expectorants, like for cough, sore throat, hoarseness. So it looks like I haven't even touched the surface of what's possible with a loquat. I am so excited over the years with this tree because there's so much to be made with a tree. You can eat it, you can share it. I've shared the fruit with 2 neighbors. We're gonna go over my in-laws this weekend, and I'm gonna take some loquats to them. I wanna make more of that little preserve. I'll show you here in a minute as it's coming up. We did make a cheesecake. Spoiler, it's coming up here in the video. See what I'm talking about, the bruising? But that does not mean this is not yummy. And we're gonna clean them, and then I'm going to show you how to make the juice. You just gonna take this out. That's all you're gonna do. Okay, I actually have this tool that helps me to do this, so I'm going to take it out. But that's really what we want to do. You can see the pit inside, but we're not gonna do anything with that yet. So I've got the loquats in here with water. They've been cleaned. I'm going to put them on the stove top just to boil any regular fruit. So here it is. I'm just going to bring those to a boil. So then once they were done, I put the little water from the boiled water in there, and then I started to take off the little pit. And the easiest way to do this is just to squeeze it, and they will come out easily. That's one thing I liked about this process, is that the pit really came out easily. However, I did not love the taste of the loquats once they were boiled this way. So the recipe said to blend it. And then you sift it, and that's where you get rid of the peel. I think figs do the same. Once you boil them or preserve them, they do have a completely different flavor profile than the original fruit, right? It's just a little bit different. It's the same with the loquats. Loquats are part of the plum family, nectarine, plum, all of those kind of peaches type of family. That's why it's called the Japanese plum. Also because of the variety that it is, that's why it's called Japanese plum, because there's European plum, Asian plum, and then the Native American plums. So this one's the Japanese variety. It's very tart when it's not ready and sweet when it is ready. But when it's boiled, completely changes. You may like it. I didn't love it as much. So I'm going to try to make juice without boiling it. So I'm going to peel and take the pit out, which for me was therapeutic. Honestly, I did not mind that at all. Then I'm going to go ahead and make the juice, and I'm going to sift it and do all the things the same way that I did the regular juice. But I'm going to see if the taste of the juice when it's in its raw form is way better than when it's boiled. Didn't love the boiled one. And now this footage is when I peeled and pitted them so that I put them in the food processor to make the little preserve. I don't know the difference between jam, preserve, or jelly, really. Mr. V made his cheesecake, and I made this little preserve with those chopped loquats, and I simmered it. So I simmered it for a couple of hours on low heat, and I added brown sugar to taste. I ended up having a whole pot of this, and I just kept simmering it until I felt that the consistency and the flavor was pretty good. Look at the masterpiece my hubby made, and based on my neighbor's reaction, it was pretty good. And that's what I made. It didn't look as fancy, but I liked it. I gave her some as well, and she tried to tell me what it tasted like. She tried to explain, but I think there is a distinct flavor to the loquat. It is kind of like between a plum and maybe even a grape. That's how her kids were describing it. I don't know. You're gonna have to try it yourself. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it. I even put one on a ramekin and I put it on my little air fryer on the bake setting for as long as the cheesecake needed to be made. So I asked my husband to leave me some of that cheesecake, and this is what it looked like. And it was pretty yummy this way too. When I looked up the benefits of the fruit itself, it has vitamin A, vitamin B6, vitamin C, calcium, manganese, magnesium, and phosphorus. So it's like any other fruit. It has its benefits. It's adding to the list of nutrients that you could get into your body because it's made by nature. And so if you're lucky to have a loquat nearby, or if you pass one by anytime you are near an area that has loquats, I would suggest pulling out that fruit and taking a bite if you can. And that is my favorite way to eat it. I do like to take a regular loquat, like the family of the plum, right? The Japanese plum, and just biting into it. It's so good to me, just like that. The pit's inside, you can get it out. Don't eat it. I always say that you can create bliss at home and in the garden, and that is absolutely the truth. I'll see you next time.